Do not adjust your television sets. Don't freak out. Don't panic. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. I know. My background is different. I moved. Again, what can you do? You can't keep me down. Can't keep a good thing. You can't keep anything. I'm really happy to be publishing this, the final installment of my trip to Japan that I took in April of 2024. Thank you for your patience. If you've been watching these videos, I'm sure it's not for educational purposes, but hey man, if it is, sick. Hello. You just got perched on. Get freaking perched on. Get perched. You just perched all over them. If this is your first video of mine that you're seeing, hey, what's up? My name's yungelderberry. I went to Japan, saw a lot and I did a lot and I made little vlogs of it. I tried to make it as educational as possible, but I can't really focus real good. It's like a problem. Without further ado, Mama, train behind you. I don't remember us having any travel issues on the way to Osaka, so I think we must have planned our Shinkansen tickets well in advance. So pog that. Also, you need a little snacky snack when you get on these trains. Booty was smart and he brought a pork cutlet sandwich with some... Then the train spat us out into the butthole of Osaka, where we were greeted at our Airbnb by a pleasant smell of burnt fish, cocoa butter, and I think some kind of spice.
Huh?
Despite this, I was still in an amazing mood because we had this really cool view, and we were just a block away from Dotonbori. And if you don't know what Dotonbori is, well... it's not this. This is a flower shop. But there is just a bunch of really cool little shops. If you were to walk down Osaka, hither and thither, you can go left, right, sideways, and you'd run into a really neat shop, and it would be really hard for you to avoid going inside because they seem so cool. All of them, especially this one with the big old fish head. This is me enjoying really quickly. Why is this so fast? A bowl of tuna with the egg in the middle. Sorry, I could have fixed that, but I just thought it was really funny that I was eating so quickly. This is Booty trying Wagyu for the first time and the last time, because he said that he didn't like it. Wow, adorable. So cute. Wow, so cute. YouTube, if you're seeing this, I do not know what this is. We popped in at this crane game place, and I didn't know that after it, the course of my life would be changed forever. I had always liked Hatsune Miku, but after this, I was like trauma bonded to her because of all that we did to try to win her. From here, we went to a really neat mall because there was a giant Ferris wheel on the top, and it gives you this really neat view where you look down and everybody just kind of looks like ants, so you could kind of squish their heads with your fingers. If you're into that sort of thing.
I crushed the alien.
Anyway, this was really cool, but I'm gonna say you don't need to do this unless you really like getting high. But the mall itself had a lot of really cool fashions. I'll put the name here so you can check it out if you'd like. Since I went out of my way to embarrass Booty in this video, I'll go out of the way to embarrass myself a little bit. So when we walked into this restaurant, I forgot the name of it. Sorry, I'm not telling you what it's called. Gatekeep Gaslamp Girl Beast. Mr. Beast. Anyway, I was so enthralled in conversation with our waiter as I was walking that I ran clear into the wall, making eye contact with him, and I smashed my melon on it so hard. Like, you can see how the tables are sunken in and how they have these little raised alcoves, and yeah, Booty was having a giggle. He looked at the waiter when I hit my head and he said, "Uh-oh, haha, bonk." The waiter was so mortified that he just walked away slowly. While we were here also, Booty made the mistake of ordering 14 ounces of steak because he didn't know what 14 ounces of steak looked like, so when he saw it, he said, "Well, looks like I'm getting the meat sweats tonight." Also, we got raclette fries, and they look like this. Arigato.
Don't touch that plate.
Don't touch that?
Yeah. Lick it.
Okay.
You see what I mean? It's a little funky.
It is a little funky. It smells like feet. You ate all your steak. Good job.
God, I just gained 14 ounces.
Okay, I won't gatekeep. Gatekeep? I won't gatekeep the name of this restaurant any longer. You should come here because all the food is really yummy. So if you're ever in Osaka, go to Kichiri and get your tummy full. Just be careful if you get 14 ounces of steak. If I said it once, I'll say it again. All the food in Japan is going to taste good, even the Family Mart egg salad and the canned coffee. So for this day, we decided to bounce around downtown Bori and sample as many foods as we can find. Today we started in the Ebisu market area, but not before saying hello to the Glicko Man. Everybody say hi, Glicko Man.
Hello, how are
Great
you?
photo op here, and there's just a really cool bridge where you can hang out and look at all the ads. As if we don't get enough of those. Anyway, you have to get takoyaki when you go to Osaka. It's just the quintessential staple Osaka food. You can not throw a rock and hit one. Wait a minute, let me try that again. You can throw a rock and hit one? Yeah. Unless you got a really good arm. This was really cool. We popped into this store and they're having a Beyblade tournament, but it was a bunch of kids, so I didn't really feel comfortable filming it. But I love Beyblade and I wish I could have stuck around to see who won. This really neat croissant spot that we found while we were walking, maybe I'll put the name on the screen if I'm feeling generous, but all of the croissants were so good. This was a matcha and passion fruit stuffed croissant muffin? Croissant muffin? Something like that. Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper. I really wanted to look like the other girlies walking around. I loved the fashion in Japan, and I was so inspired by everything that I saw. The one thing about Osaka that I'm gonna gripe about was this was by far the dirtiest I've seen Japan look up until this point. But there was just like garbage in the streets and trash bags overflowing and big stone dudes with their piggies out. I mean, filthy. Also, it took me this many days in Osaka to remember that Sotonbori from Yakuza is based on Dontonbori, and this little hole just reminded me of something that Majima would be hiding in. That little hole is really special too, because while we were waiting in line to get into this restaurant, there was just these businessmen walking down the street, just chatting to each other, and then when they saw the hole, they pointed at it, ran to it, looked in it, and screamed. After dinner, we walked to America Muja, which is a neighborhood in Osaka based on America, roughly, to go to this hidden bar. I won't tell you where the entrance is, so you're gonna have to figure out yourself. But this bar, I'm sure I'm putting the name on the screen, was a really cool experience for Booty in particular, because the bartenders here were so friendly and they offered shots of this really super bitter drink that he likes, I have no idea what it's called, to do with him, and they really took a shine to him. The whole premise of this place is that they ask you what flavors you like and they make you a drink based on those flavors. And this is no shade to anybody who, you know, likes spicy margaritas, but if I had a nickel for every time I heard somebody go, "I want something spicy," and it tastes like a margarita, I would have like 4 or 5 nickels, because that's all that these UK fuckers would ask for in this bar. I'm sorry if you're from the UK, it's just what I've noticed. If you want to know what I asked for, I said I like floral things, I like tea, and both times I got pretty similar tasting drinks, but they were really good. Day 3 in Osaka, fit check. At this point, both Booty and I were dying for some nature. That little bushel of green was the most green that I'd seen in a couple days. That was until we stumbled upon this park, which was just such a breath of fresh air after spending so much time in the city. And then as we kept walking, we realized that there was a shrine in this park just tucked away, and it felt far and wide a lot more special than a lot of the shrines we'd been to because it was just so quiet. Also, there was a lady who was like walking her pet falcon. It was nice to get out of the city, because up until this point we had seen a lot of partying and not a whole lot of historical stuff. So we decided to take a trip to Osaka Castle. We didn't go in here, just took a shot of it. Also, Booty's taking a shot of the tag in the back of my skirt. I'm blissfully unaware and entering my vlogger era. Osaka Castle. Osaka Castle is pretty neat. Lots of stairs to climb. You might be a bit winded by the time you get to the top, but really cool views that you just can't find anywhere else. My favorite part was reading about all the history of how it came to be, and there was also this really cool room with like visual dioramas. Unfortunately, it too was very packed, so had to skip a lot of the history there. But you should go. The price of admission is pretty cheap, and you can learn a lot. If not, also just to work off all the food that you've been eating and get some cardio in. This had so much wasabi in it, you can see it beneath the white fish, but it still slapped. Even though, like previously mentioned, I felt that Osaka was, technically speaking, the dirtiest of the cities that we visited in Japan, I still really enjoyed myself. It had plenty of charm, and with charm comes some grime, but also plenty of charm. Here we have Yakisoba Baby. The owner, the chef, the everything guy, he was cooking up a storm right next to this exhaust vent that was pushing the scents out to the street. And he also loved to say fuck so much, it was just honestly so endearing. If y'all don't end up coming here, just make sure you try Okonomiyaki somewhere, because it's basically just a cabbage meat pancake. You just can't go wrong trying it, so go get you some. Next morning and disaster strikes, my suitcase zipper is broken and won't close. So I had to take a little walk to buy a new suitcase, and the only one that the lady would sell me was this bright pink rose gold one. She refused to sell me a blue one. I have no idea why. Country girls make do, I guess. So let me paint you a picture. At this point, we're leaving Osaka on a Shinkansen going fast as fuck. Remember when I said that the back of the Shinkansen cars are reserved for people who have oversized luggage? Well, apparently some people like to reserve those seats just because they feel like it. So both Booty and I had to get inside seats on our way back from Osaka to Tokyo, while these two individuals who, I guess, didn't care that we were chatting with each other the whole time, felt no mercy to give us so we could sit next to each other. They just wanted to sleep and have their privacy, which is fine. They have their right to do that. They got the seats before we did, and that's egg on our face. But dude, they slept the whole time with their window shades down, and the worst crime of all was on this Shinkansen in particular from Osaka to Tokyo is when you could see Mount Fuji. Thankfully, the dude on my side decided to wake up and take a couple pictures of it, and he even was like trying to lean his chair back better so I could get a better view, so I lucked out in that sense. But poor Booty was still on the other side of the car, Mount Fuji-less. I'm still incredibly grateful to have seen him at all, and if anything, it just makes me want to come back and see him again. Now we're back in Tokyo, and this time we're staying in Shibuya. We also booked this Airbnb a little last second because we didn't know how long we were going to spend in Osaka, so the views weren't really super great. That's okay, I don't mind. I'm just happy to be in Japan. But finally, we could have conveyor belt sushi with a conveyor belt that worked. This place was like sushi, but fast food. And I'm not making a joke that like the conveyor belts were fast, so it was fast food. Like the quality of the fish was fast food. I didn't mind at all because my tummy is hard to upset, but Booty doesn't have my tummy, so Booty was struggling a little bit. The only fish that I did have beef with, this one right here, is horse mackerel. I wanted to eat it because of Animal Crossing, because the horse mackerel is always the most fucking annoying fish, so I finally ate him. I finally conquered him. I did it. Suck it. Something that we had really been wanting to do but didn't have the time the first time we were in Tokyo was check out Golden Gai. It's a narrow street filled with restaurants and bars, much like the one in Kyoto, but these ones are a lot more tourist-centric, I want to say. Everyone that I saw here had a cover charge to get in on a Monday, so we really only went to one and kind of booked it, which left us with more time to check out another staple of Japan, a book off. A book off is a place for used manga and anime and books. At least it said they were used, but I saw no wear and tear on any of the books or DVDs or anything really that I saw here. Was very tempted to get these Full Metal Alchemist mangas, but I don't really have a manga collection and I didn't know if I wanted to start here. I was very intrigued by some of these classic American films in Japanese, like Who Could Forget Jumper. Booty was digging for gold over here. I think he found some movie about a big lizard that attacks Japan. That sounds pretty morbid to me. I don't know why you'd be into that sort of thing. Hatsune Miku, my beloved. This book off had so many figures of her. I was really tempted, but I didn't think my suitcase could take it, especially after it exploded the first time. You notice these are really economically priced, so don't get your figures in Akibahara. Get them at book off. They started playing this like music around closing time, and I wasn't sure if I was supposed to leave or like curl up with a good book and just kind of like knock out.
It's so sad Steve Jobs died of ligma.
Who the hell is Steve Jobs?
Ligma balls.
Also, this big dude was funnier than any comics Tight 5 I'd ever seen. He was killing it up there.
We got the black pepper, we got the honey mustard, we got the chili oil, we got the spicy chicken. Yeah.
It was at this point that I started mentally saying goodbye to all the good food, all the cool scenery, everything that I loved about Japan, because this was our second to last day. Started off the day with this little bakery that was right next to the Airbnb we were staying at, and I was loving this milk bread toast. And then I popped into next door while Booty was on the phone, and they literally were selling the bread from the bakery next door at the 7-Eleven, which is so cute. We decided to go to Kitchen Street. I decided to go to Kitchen Street because I have an obsession with fake food. This shop in particular had it so you could buy kits, take the kit home with you, and make your own fake food. They had soda pops, they had little ice creams. This giant fake stein of beer could fix me. Something that I want everyone to look at though is the prices here. So for that giant fake stein of beer, it would have been basically like $100. These little sandwiches would be about $30. And keep in mind, I'm not saying it's not worth it because clearly someone went out of their way to make it. They had to use molds and do it by hand. Like, this is pure craftsmanship right here. Can I get a yeehaw? But it's clear to me that these shops, they know that these foods aren't just for restaurants looking to display an item. They're also selling to tourists, and I feel like a lot of the prices kind of reflected that. Even so, the fake food game here is completely unmatched in Kitchen Street, and you gotta come check it out. And also wave hi to Mr. Big Chef. I didn't have a whole lot of time to do that myself because we were hitting so many stops on this very last day. You know how in the very first episode we were supposed to go to a certain castle? I booked us a private tour to take us around Edo Castle. Now, Edo Castle is a marvel of history, and all of it, honestly, was so serene and really cool. And I'm super glad that we had a tour guide with us to explain a lot of what the buildings were. Like this building right here could have housed over 100 samurai. By far, my favorite part was this beautiful botanical garden that had just fields of flowers and little babbling brooks. I couldn't think of a better way for us to end our trip. So missing this the first time wasn't a mistake, just a happy accident. After seeing this park for about 4 hours, we had to get on a train and go back to the airport. 2 weeks in Japan definitely did not feel like enough, and I'm already planning my trip to come back next year. If you've watched all 3 of these little vacation vlogs, thank you. I hope I've demystified what traveling here would look like, and I hope I've shown you that it's really easy to get around and to figure everything out. I don't want anyone to feel intimidated about visiting, because honestly, if I could do it, you can too. I'll be faster with the uploads in the future when it comes to traveling and making little videos out of them. So if you really like these, please make sure that you follow, subscribe, because this is YouTube. And maybe watch another video. I think that tells the algorithm that you kind of liked it. Soup, 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 soup. Hi.